For several decades, brick and mortar retailers ran their entire operations from on-premise desktop-based systems. That's the Windows box that you see in the center. And for a long time, it was going great until the mobile and the digital revolution happened. And suddenly, these retailers had to move data into marketplaces, social channels, suppliers and buyers in near real time. And the whole thing broke because these boxes, these Windows systems, were never built for real-time data I/O. And the problem overall cost the industry more than $70 billion in lost revenue. And you've seen that there's a lot of global retailers that have shut down over the years. Fast forward, in the past 5 years, you'll see even on the streets of Lisbon and wherever you are, you would have seen these iPad and cloud-based fancy systems that have now come into shops and restaurants. And now there's a myriad of other ones, the e-commerce, accounting, ERP, and various softwares that are used inside the store. And although that has really streamlined the operations of the retailer and helped their business, it has worsened the data problem because what used to be in 1 or 2 Windows boxes is now spread on at least 5 systems on average. And to add to that, there is more pressure than ever to move data in real time to all these channels that I mentioned above. We've built the only platform globally that connects not just these cloud-based retail systems inside the retailer's environment, but in the first place, it enables a retailer to move to the cloud, which is a very important transition. So what happens is they're running on some legacy systems with years' worth of data. We've built the technology that can take data from any legacy systems to one of these cloud-based retail systems. Once they're in there, we're able to generate analytics and custom reporting by combining insights across all the systems that they use, which is where individually the vendors fall short because they give them reporting and insights which is very limited to their own system. On the supply chain side, also, we have innovated. We've launched the industry's first and only open source stock replenishment application, which is live today in an 80-store chain in the US, and it has a pretty bright future because we have built a community of developers around it. And we also enable the retailer to seamlessly talk to upstream to their wholesalers and manufacturers. And we've launched this app in emerging markets today, especially in India. And the unique thing is that it works well for SMEs as well as some of the largest enterprise brands in India. In the past year, we've acquired about 100 plus customers and partners, $300,000 in annualized revenue, and growing at about 25% month over month. And we've done this with nearly 0 direct sales and no marketing. And I think that's evidence that we are on to solving a big global problem. A little bit about the team. I used to run core checkout at eBay and PayPal and managed about 50 billion in payment volume, and that's where I learned firsthand about this problem. And my co-founder Pulkit and I were part of a security startup, TrustNX, that was bought by HP. Deepthi, who runs our India operations and is the COO, is one of the thought leaders in the Indian e-commerce space. And we've been very fortunate to be backed by investors who have built multi-billion-dollar retail and enterprise companies from the ground up. Retail is going through a disruption that happens once in many lifetimes, as Paddy put it yesterday. And the amazing thing is it's now happening across the globe in parallel. And that's what we are truly excited about solving. If you're as passionate about this space, I'd love to have a chat with you. Thanks.
So who's your target market? I wasn't quite clear. Are they physical stores, chains, or online? Could you just tell a little bit more about that?
Yes, they are mid to large SME brick and mortar retailers. So anywhere, our sweet spot is anywhere from a 5 to 100 store chain, and it could be anywhere in the world. And we ride on top of our partners. So a Wend or a Lightspeed point of sale goes and wins a deal, or we help them win a new account. And then we sit on top of those systems.
First question, just to clarify, the name is Shop'nPal?
Yes, that's the brand, yeah.
Okay, we missed that up front, the name, Shop'nPal. So it's a pretty crowded space. Supply chain management would be the category you're in. How are you working through that? I mean, there's some big players, like an SAP, for instance.
Right.
How do I find you?
So we don't compete with those guys because they're going and helping the Macy's and the Walmarts of the world, right? So we are operating in the segment where there is very little budget and IT support that these retailers have, right? So if you think about a local chain that operates 10 stores in Portugal or something, right? They're not going to be able to. SAP Anywhere is trying to launch in the market, but it's still not there. So we are when they adopt cloud-based POS or an ERP system, we are already there with the standardized data connectors that can move data across those systems. And on top of that, we are able to say, here's a beautiful open source app that you can take for free, and if you want to enhance it, you can bring in your own developer, or we'll do it for you, and there's a small monthly fee on top of that. So there is really no competition from an enterprise standpoint. There are companies like Zapier, but they're all over the place, right? So they're not solving this problem specifically for retail.
You said that it's already out there in use, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And for how long?
So in the past 15 months, we've deployed all of these integrations. It's 10 countries now, and it's all through channel partners. So we are able to operate with nearly zero support. So I checked in, for example, recently with one of our partners in Montreal, and in 4 months, he had taken our solution to 38 retailers in France with just a couple of phone calls and basic optimization.
Okay, thank you, Sriram.